All right, and welcome back, everybody, to another Megatron draw stream. Today, we're doing kind of an older piece that kind of started I think a year ago almost, actually, this one. I just never got around to it because I have so many things I start and I never finish until years later. So, doing that today, though, we're going to start off by working on this piece of Sideswipe and Sunstreaker from Transformers. So, now, most are going to be focused on the Sunstreaker here because Sideswipe's pretty much ready to go. A few things I can kind of already see that I'm going to have to touch up and redo, like the legs. I think I need to kind of extend that a bit because there's a weird little gap here. I just noticed this today when I first pulled this out. I was like, what's that doing there? So probably just going to scale this up just a little bit, like the shin or the kneecap rather on his leg there, and cover that up. It's like very unsightly. So, but yeah, we're gonna mostly focus on Sunstreaker today because he's the most unfinished of the two. So, but yeah, it's actually kind of funny because it's like Sunstreaker actually was the original Transformer, the very first one actually. And hi, Penny, good to see you in the chat. Oh, you've been here since 1:32. Nice. I'm not sure if she's still here or not, but yeah, Sunstreaker actually was the very first Transformers toy ever created and then eventually imported by Hasbro to become part of the cartoon and all that. So a little bit of a history for y'all. So it's kind of it's sad too because like the character, it's kind of sad because like the character doesn't really get a whole lot of love. Like he doesn't really do much aside from like an IDW, a few other cartoons and stuff and comics. Like, but he never really go a whole lot of love in like cartoons and movies anymore. Because I think that sucks, was just a bit more popular of the two. I messed up already. Noticing. Okay. This way. There we go. Almost messed that up. Luckily, these are just raw pencil and ink, so I do just about whatever I want at this stage. So it seems like we're going to be doing the arms and the head and a little bit of background as well. So, but I do have a Grimlock sketch actually in my sketchbook. I could probably work on if I finish this early. But yeah, I'm not too sure I'll be going for too long today though. There's some stuff I need to do. Another house. And I'm gonna do the gun. Here. Yeah, it's toy here for reference here. The original toy, but the masterpiece figure. Use the gun as reference. But it's like designed a little bit differently, so you can probably just go there. Come on with it. Okay. Start with the nozzle real quick. Be careful here because the hand is kind of sticking out. So just focus on this side right now. Crap. Put my glove on. Walking mall. Bite. Okay. But yeah, Sunstreaker didn't really get a whole lot of love after the cartoon, really. And in the cartoon, he didn't really have a whole lot to do in the show. It's kind of like, kind of a background character, kind of had a fun little personality where he was kind of like, he was kind of, actually kind of inspired a character in recent years, Knockout. Because his whole thing in the cartoon was that he was always worried about his paint job getting screwed up in battles and stuff like that. Like, oh, you fucked up my job. And that kind of translated over to a new character named Knockout in Transformers Prime, where that kind of became his personality in that show. So he's Decepticon show, who eventually turned into Autobot, actually, by the end of the series, which was kind of a interesting turn. Yeah. I'll just kind of leave the silhouette of the gun for now. Once I come out with my eraser, we'll detail it up. Oh, that's a little hinge almost. Do too much with the hand here. But you turn into a yellow Lamborghini alongside Sideswipe and a couple of Lambos actually in the cartoon. There was Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, eventually Red Alert in season 2, and then Breakdown when the Semicons became Lamborghini. Yeah, Cybertronians love the Lambos, so cool. All right. That's actually been inked over. You stop making my pencil lines so harsh. Tell. Let's put on the face. See this reference. It's a pretty simple head design, actually. The other characters have a bit going on. Do little indents here. Doesn't really have a big like chin sort of thing going on, so sometimes rest of the helmet, and then we'll kind of move on to the face. It's kind of Yoda ears almost. But completely different type of character compared to Yoda. Might be Yoda older than Yoda though. But not as mature as Yoda. The Transformers, they're a bunch of old parts. They've been around for a very long time. It's a age for millions of years. Line. Actually, I'll grab a smaller pen just for the ice in the mouth. And one. I think I get Nope, not one. Yeah, one's there. Need some shopping soon. Okay. Yeah, he's kind of a character who's kind of very, very like kind of full of himself as well. Egotistical, which is kind of what we see a bit more in the cartoon whenever we do see him on the show. So we'll give him a cocky little smile there. With a douchey smile there. I don't think I need him for much else after that. And I actually started using my actual toys, just like the head sculpts, actually, for reference lately. It's kind of a useful thing as an artist, kind of a reference material. Those transformers, if I have just the get the head, I can usually work with the body from just the reference pictures. But getting a head, when it comes to transformers, the most important thing is getting the head right. So you mess that up, you can mess up the whole thing. Everything else on the body, you can probably there's a little bit more leeway with certain parts of the transformer's body because it's a mechanical being. And over the years, there's been a lot of like stylization, anyways, with the franchise. So you can probably just do whatever you want with that. But as long as you get the character shining through it with the face sculpt, you're on the money. And this hand needs a bit more work with the pencil. So line it up a bit there. Stuff I just drawn that. And thumb would go there. Good enough. And don't like the tip. Not a fan of the tip. All right. Shorten that just a little bit. Check that hand inked up before we do anything else. Just surprisingly, transform hands are pretty easy to draw for me. It's human hands that give me a grief. There's little rectangles, so not much thought goes into it. The fingers a little more complicated. Just a bit more on. It's a lot easier. Okay. I'm going to cut into the already existing inks here. It's a little off. Here's my 03. Messed it up. Yeah, good enough. Good enough for me. Now, repush it. Position the Autobot symbol here. Do that, and then we'll do the backpack. I'm going to redraw that actually. It's kind of at a weird angle. Actually, wouldn't be a whole lot of it, really. Not really. No. Do that real quick. It's not much going to be visible from that angle. Okay. And it's just the Autobot symbol, and we can kind of erase a bunch of stuff and then tighten up my line work, fix a few errors, and do the background and all that jazz. I'll use it as reference for the symbol. A little too Superman angled there, that's okay. Yeah. Let's leave it. That's okay. It's original inks, so I don't have to worry too much about being perfect here. So let's do our erasage, all cleaned up, and do some fine tuning. No pun intended. Okay. I go to Lembo Bros cleaned up. Look a bit more handsome. Yeah. Or robots. Kind of leave the background, even though I'm not going to worry too much about the basic sort of canyon sort of deal going on. Right. Yeah, probably gonna be a very short stream today. So I'm gonna start off by doing this in the background first. Grab it away now. Okay, come back. And don't need more. So grab it. Let's go a little mountains background. Rock. Little detailed lines. Don't want to do too much for stuff in the background because you want to keep the focus on the two Lambos here. If you do overly detailed background, you can kind of take away, but it depends on how much you do and how you do it, honestly. So, okay. Well, I think we'll go ahead and do a nice sort of outline around both characters. Oh, just realized his arm isn't fully completed there. That's okay. Actually, it might be referenced in a minute. Let me see. Let's see. A little bit thicker pen. kind of bring these lines to the forefront a bit more. Just trying to clean you up. There's all these really thin lines, kind of make it a little bit off here, but make sure they both stand out. Move slowly, getting out. Oh, I'm having issues. Oh. Walking ball might do. Hold on. Move it slowly. Try stop cam, come back in. Me personally, just moving slowly. It's an actual like thing that's going on with the video feed. Not exactly sure how to fix it though. All right. There's a Megatron. What? What boobs? You're not watching the wrong video, Penny. All right, my avatar. I'm dumb. Yeah, there's my boobies. Hey, I'm a little slow today. working the tire here. Little hip skirts are kind of visible. It shouldn't be visible though. And it wouldn't be. Just put an X there. Just black that out. Must have been high when I do this. Didn't take into consideration the perspective. Okay. But yes, Penny used to have some moves on Megatron. It's from a I'll let you from a little skit on YouTube from Flash Gets. They did a Megatron with boobies because he wanted to. The whole part of it is he was trying to use PC culture to attack the Autobots. So it's like, oh, I turned a woman now. Now you can't hit me. Yeah. I'll get in trouble. All right. Let's tidy up. Okay. I might go ahead and do some gray tones on these guys as well today. So I like to do little gray tones on my guys. Just gets a bit more. Adds a bit more flair to them at the end. I'll leave the face. So side there. There's Sunstreaker, ready to go. Go to that. Let's do Sideswipe now. I'll use a little bit bigger brush, just because he's a bit more in the foreground than he is. So just go like this. So you cover up that ugliness right there. Just gonna build up the legs a little bit bigger there. All right. The leg. Thigh. Waist. Arm going. All right. Yeah, I need to draw more of the card actually. I'm not drawing as much as I should. Did Jazz a while ago. I might actually do that one pretty soon. But, yeah, let's do like a tracks one day. Smoke screen, prowl. We're gonna give them enough love. Mirage would be kind of cool. Wheeljack. I did Wheeljack a while ago. Yeah, lot of characters though with Transformers. No real excuse in oh, who do I draw? It's like, well, there's a million characters to pick from, so pick one. Yeah. I mean, it's a hard part, really, when you have so many characters you want to draw. It's like, who do I pick? They're all cool. They're all awesome. Yeah. Hey, Grumpy. Good to see you, man. Doing some Lego thinking today. Didn't really have anything real planned this week. I was off working out of town, so didn't really have a whole lot planned this week. But it was a good day for just a pencil and ink stream where I just kind of practiced drawing Dinobots. I was like, I kind of want to finish this guy up real quick. It was half because when I first my portfolio was like half finished, so I was like, what, let's finish up my Lambos, get them out of the way. At least anything once. Maybe we can do colors at some point in the near future. But let's grab the hand. Thumb there. Is good and going. You see the boobs? Well, stay safe out there. Yeah, she saw the the profile at one point. There it is. All right, later, Penny. I'll see you around. Enjoy the Olive Garden. I think it's been like almost 2 years since I've been Olive Garden. But I only eat is really just like the breadsticks. Honestly, it's the only reason I go there for is just like breadsticks. It's like everything else too fancy for me. I was like, what is this stuff? It's like I need simple foods, I have very simple taste, I was like, here's some bread. It's hot, and delicious. Right. Basic outline almost done. Just get this can going. All right, start adding our blacks. I'll try to go for that now. So Sideswipe real quick. Make sure I get the colors right. He has black hands, so black out the arm or hand socket there. And we'll all right. And so the pelvis is all black. So but it's been a little while because I had to take last weekend off because I had work to do last weekend, so couldn't. But in terms of new stuff coming out, or stuff that's kind of my world, so to speak, is I got a few guys on the way. Got a few orders on the way. For Transformers is I spoiled myself a couple days ago. Kind of caved in and got the slingshot from his toys. So he's on the way. Should be here in a couple weeks, or not a couple weeks, a couple days. But not a couple weeks. He's been out for a little while, but yeah, he's away. Wanted to get him specifically because he was getting kind of up there in price, or rather before he goes up in price. So because he's kind of a combiner part for Superion, which I'm not going to be actually using which is kind of a bummer. It's kind of a weird. It's kind of a thing I don't really like about some of these third-party companies where they make it so that you have to buy. I actually kind of like the way X-Trans went. I know that a lot of fans didn't like this, but I actually kind of like that you could buy the trailer separately for their Motormaster, for their Menasor, because that allowed you, it allowed you to spread your money a bit more, because you can just like buy the Motormaster and then buy the trailer separately, and then, or if you don't even want the combined form, because some people don't even want a combined form of a certain like group of characters, sometimes they just want the team like me. So and so Yeah, so and that's actually how they're going to be doing the protect the bots. When hots they're going to do a whole um, thing where it's like you can buy the combiner parts separately from hotspot and all that. So at least that's what Mike from Comic Relief Crusader will say, because he actually works. He kind of like talks because he's actually in contact with Keith from X Transbots. So yeah. So I think that for no, not for Band's Toys, Menasor, because the trailer in Motor Mesh actually just becomes part of him, like in robot mode. Not too sure how it's going to play out in combined form. We don't have Dead End yet, because Dead End's going to be the one that comes with all the combiner parts. I just slingshot it for Superion. But yeah, that's how they're gonna do hotspot. I think this says like something like a battle station that he comes with, like a big like med bay or something, or it's gonna be something like I'm not really gonna be going in for that, obviously, for combine them. So for that one, yeah, just grab the joint. Okay. But but for DX9, the whole combiner part came naturally, the whole trailer, like, because basically what happens with the DX9 Motor Master, that the trailer kind of disconnects from, like, it kind of almost not cuts in half, but it kind of like separates from the cab of the truck, and the cab of the truck turns into Motor Master, and then the rest of the trailer that becomes like the whole combiner parts for Menace. So that's kind of how DX9 did it, which is pretty clever. But it's a very easy sort of a transformation, actually, getting him from to from trailer to combined form. And I just realized the things here are a little bit off. It's supposed to be a bit higher up on his leg. Let's do that. It's supposed to be a bit higher up. It's a little bit too low. So I could just try to draw that out. Just black this out entirely. Don't grab a brush pen real quick. But yeah, so the trailer that was for Master rather, for the X Transbots, that was what kind of transformed into the combined form of Menacer and all that. So all right, let's clean here. It probably should be a bit bigger, but yeah, I'll touch it up here. I'll figure it out. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so I got Slingshot on the way. I've got Scrapper from X Transbots on the way, and I have Streetwise on the way, which should be pretty soon, actually. So all three of them should be kind of pretty soon this week. Nice. And I also have the first aids coming out from X Transbots, but I don't think mine's going to be able to ship out before tomorrow, which is Chinese New Year, or not Chinese New Year, but it's when the factories or Here's where all the factories kind of shut down, so there's not going to be anything shipped out tomorrow. So the window after the whole thing, but that's kind of okay with me because I got I'll have enough stuff to kind of keep me entertained. A little gap in his leg. That's kind of weird. But actually, DX9 that's coming out with Sideswipe looks pretty cool. Not too sure if I'm going to get it. So I already have this one, and like I said before, I'm not really in the market for swapping out, at least not right now. I'm more interested in just kind of catch up on the figures I don't have. Like I'm trying to catch up on aerial bots. Like, that's the big thing this year is going to be trying to get all the aerial bots going. And hopefully I can get the silver. And obviously, as a protect bots, the constructicons come out. Those are probably what I get as well. Maybe more catacons from Magic Square. It's gonna be a big Combiner Wars this year for Transformers cards, though. A shit ton of constructicons coming out. You got new Verticates coming out. And you've got Protect the Bots. And actually, the MMC set's almost going to be done actually pretty soon. Because in March, I think that's when the Blades is coming out. I'm actually waiting until I'm waiting to see the X-Trans bots version of Hotspot before I decide on which one I want to go for. So it's kind of like the images I saw a while back of the of the X-Trans bots version of Hotspot, and so I was like, oh, that might be my Hotspot. Right now, also not just that, but the Hotspot from MMC is getting pretty expensive too. So, but yeah, we'll see. And we'll get Sunstreaker going. Black that out. I'll save the helm for a minute. A smaller brush for that. I own one Hotspot and I refuse to transform him because he's Baywatch Rescue Chopper Road. Oh. Yeah, I almost tried to draw a transformer this week, almost to go to Staples. Staples to rescan the drawing, scanned it this time, so I had to get back to work. Ooh, nice. Yeah, it's cool. I love the way it's turning out from what I've seen of it. Let's see. My Sunstreaker too, but Sideswipe my bro. Yeah, actually, Sunstreaker. I'm not too sure if you know this actually, Grumpy, but Sunstreaker actually was the very first Transformer ever. Like he was the first toy they ever conceived before they got bought by Hasbro, or imported by Hasbro rather. That kind of became part of their toy line. So yeah, Sunstreaker and Sideswipe are probably the first Transformers ever created from a toy perspective. All that. So, but actually, they were gonna have the swap. Actually, they kind of I think they flip flop based on their color schemes and all that. Like when they're first being created, like originally, Sunstreaker was gonna be red, and Sideswipe was gonna be the yellow one and all that. And they kind of went back and forth until they finally settled on making the yellow one here Sunstreaker and then the red one Sideswipe. So no, Sunstreaker was the very first one. He was just a little bit different. That's why you'll kind of see sometimes there'll be a red repaint of Sunstreaker sometimes because it's kind of part of the history of the character and the franchise in general too. So, yeah. It's kind of sad that they don't really do much with Sunstreaker actually as a character. It's like aside from IDW where they made him a traitor to the Autobots a little bit. Which is kind of understandable why he did it, because he's trying to get back to humans, but he does kind of make up for it in the end, but it's still kind of like a dickhead. It's like, fuck this all over. No, and he deserves a special spot for spawning my favorite thing. But this is actually somehow even more for by my greedy heart. Yeah. Yeah, well, they're going to do a Red Alert with that new Sideswipe mold from TX9. So it looks really good though. Actually, that new Sideswipe is coming out. But it's not too sure if I'll swap mine out anytime soon. Mostly because I just don't know where to put all my carbots when they're done. I mean, logically, they'd be going in vehicle mode, like like if I were to swap out, like I had a ratchet for the fan toys coming out pretty soon. I'd probably end up just putting them in vehicle mode, the originals. So, problem is I don't have a spot for my vehicles though. So, but yeah, I can always find a spot for them in the house somewhere. I need to color this on then. There's yellow hands. Just keep that there. Not a whole lot of detail, black details on the inside of the blade. Using my toys reference. Should be good for the blacks on both of them. Do some gray tones now. But I couldn't touch first. Yeah. Yeah, I had to turn. Okay, I still read that. Okay. Got the black Countach version of him. Oh yeah. I think it's is it G2 Sideswipe? I think it's G2 Sideswipe with the red helmet with the black body and all that. It's kind of a cool look, but I prefer the classic red. Oh, a few spots. Hold up. Just get everything. It's the cool gray for their faces. And for the guns, more metallics or sheen there. Over there. I use warm grays for their the red and the yellows for them. So that's the best way to do their tones here. And do a little bit of white on Sideswipe. Okay. And let's go over the highlights, black areas, and then that is it. Oh shit, already an hour. Nice. Not too sure how long I'm gonna go for. But I'll grab a window on Sunstreaker there. It's all right. This little bugger. Yeah, at least Sunstreaker was part of the last team that Prime went out with in the 86 movie. He was the last one standing by Prime. So I guess that counts for something for the character. Yeah. And actually, he was going to have a role in the new game that's coming out that got canceled. So that's kind of a bummer. I think I made Sunstreaker actually in the War for Cybertron game, or not War, the Fall Cybertron game. I mean, so I think I used like Wheeljack's head, the closest thing we had available to Sunstreaker. So I used his head and used like some Sideswipe's like build in vehicle mode and all that. Yeah, good times though. Like, I made fun. I always mess around with the customization options in the in that game. I made a Stunticons at one point because I used. They had 3 of the Stunticons actually in the game. They had Dead End, Breakdown, and Drag Strip. But they didn't have Motormaster Wad Rider, so I took. Well, I made a Motormaster out of the average sort of truck character in that game, but then I used Zeta Prime, because you kind of turned into sort of a car type vehicle. So I use that for Wild Rider. I kind of made a Stunticons from that. So yeah, good times. There's rumors that are going to be coming out with the remaster for those games, but it was like, hurry up. So I want my games back. So I actually stream them. Because I can't stream them any other way other than Twitch, at least for now. Let's see. Okay. Just a symbol on him. So I kind of fucked up the symbol on Sunstreaker. Pull the warm gray. Oop. Do the lights on Sunstreaker, or Sideswipe rather. And just same thing with the Autobus symbol. So we'll be using a warm gray for everything else now. Okay. Yeah, so when I do my gray tones here, it's kind of an interesting thing to kind of talk about, is that when I'm doing like different colors, I kind of differentiate them based on warm colors and cool colors. So like cool colors would be like your blues, your greens, sometimes purples, Then like your warmer colors would be like yellows, reds, orange, browns. And so that's kind of how I differentiate here. So like just for the gray tones, anyways. So like for example, Sideswipe's going to have red on him, so I'm going to use a warm gray for the red parts, and then the white, and obviously I also use the cool gray for the whites as well, because just adds a bit more texture to it and all that jazz. Yeah, there's a little bit of technique when it comes to doing the gray tones here, but that's kind of just me just messing around and just kind of make it look more interesting. It just kind of makes it feel like a more finished piece when I do this. So. At least before I add the colors, which will hopefully I get to master this one in the near future. All right. I think we're done with Sideswipe for now. Move on to Sunstreaker. Now we will be using a little bit less warm gray on him just because yellow is a little lighter color. Kind of make him look a little bit different from Sideswipe here. So just use it very sparingly in a few areas here. Oh, there's one I didn't do on the foot. Hold on. Hold on. Just a little bumper here. Okay. Easy fix. All right. Very simple here. I'll black that out because I messed up on the hip skirts on him. So let's go over it. I'll probably use like these darker grays for the background now. Just a few areas. Hold on. Just a little mirror on his foot there. Yeah, it sticks out. So I had to go get. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Got lots of math here to do, so not a whole lot actually. It's gonna be very, very simple here. I'm gonna spend too much time on this. Just want to make it a little more interesting before we head this off. Excuse me. Do a little bit of shadow there for a Sideswipe. One around for Sunstreaker. A little bit of a shadow underneath. Split there. They need to hurry up those remasters. Yeah, I really want to get some remasters in those games. It's like hopefully live streaming because I want to kind of go back and rewatch, play those games and stuff. On air for y'all. Do a story playthrough. Do some. Hopefully they get the online servers. Dude, the online servers was so much fun. Like online so much fun back in the day. Like Escalation Mode was probably my favorite. It was a lot of fun. Especially War for Cybertrucks, that actually got crazy. You know, you had a whole because like thing is like with the Fall Cybertruck game, you actually had an end point. Like they would get to a certain point. I think it was like 15 or 16 rounds. And hey, Devin. But yeah, Escalation was kind of like Zombies, where it was kind of like you go. There was actually an end point to it. I can't remember there is an end point for Zombies. But basically, there would be like you can basically go for 15 rounds and it's over. Or basically, you get to survive 15 rounds. The Fall Cybertron game, but in War for Cybertron, it goes all. It never stops. Like you, because and as the level and as the game progresses, they send up more big bots after you. More annoying stuff to kind of take you guys down. It's crazy, but it's fun. Crazy. Yeah, those are the days, man. But took it all away from us. SOs. But hopefully, Microsoft has the games now, they'll be pumping out a remaster. So I'm surprised they didn't at least get an announcement this year, or last year, rather, because it was the 40th anniversary of Transformers. But whatever. Actually, it'd be kind of cool if they actually came out with new characters for the game as well, like a couple new character additions, like I don't know, maybe like a Springer would be kind of cool. Let's see. Finish off the Stunticons in the team in that game because we have we have the other three. We have Dead End, Drag Strip, and Breakdown in that game. But we don't have a Wildrider or Motormaster, so it'd be kind of cool to have them. So I think they were. I think that at least Motormaster. I think for him being in the was it DS? Was it the Nintendo DS game or whatever? Like I can't remember for the life of me, but it was like one of those older handheld versions of the game. Yeah, I mean, it had obviously then the new movie came out, all that one thing actually to me that they did for the 40th years was that special they did in theaters where they had the original cast come back and do like a script reading for the first 3-4 episodes. No, just the first episode actually. It was just the first episode, and then they played the original rest of the show. It was, but yeah, it was really cool kind of seeing Peter Cullen play Ironhide again, actually, specifically because he hasn't played that character since the movie, actually, because don't let him play Ironhide anymore. The only time you ever really hear Peter Cullen as Ironhide anymore is in conventions or interviews and stuff like that. So it was really nice to kind of hear the old cast. I mean, old cast that's present because they had to get some people to play Starscream and Cliff Jumper and all them because not all the actors are with us anymore. So, but the guys filming for them are actually pretty good. So yeah, lots of fun. But I'm actually really enjoying the those. I showed you a couple weeks ago, Grumpy, the behind the scenes like voiceovers that's been kind of being released recently of like the old original like recordings of the original cartoon. You actually get to see, you get to hear the actual voice or the actual behind the scenes of the actors in there. It's just really funny seeing them cursing and stuff. Like it's like because you never really think about a character like Optimus Prime, but the guy playing would ever swear, but it's just like no, he's cursing like a sailor in that. Some of the lines, like oh, the funniest part was when Peter was calling Ratchet rat shit, and he's like, oh, it keeps coming out rat shit. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's like, oh, that's great. And then the one where Frank calls Scraper as Megatron. He's like, it's Scrapper, you asshole. Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming out. I hope they come because I think they did Transport to Oblivion and the Heavy Metal War episode so far. They kind of released about the behind the scenes. I love those. They're freaking hilarious. I'm seeing them acting all goofy and stuff. It's fun. So outline Sunstreaker, I bet. Just in the areas where he's kind of getting lost here. If you ever want to hear Optimus Prime, Megatron like cursing and all that, watch some as behind the scenes. I can't remember the channel that does it, but yeah, it's gold. It's a lot of fun just kind of hearing them tell dirty jokes and stuff like that. Because Peter actually made a really funny joke when they were doing the scene where Huffer takes the load, so to speak, of a trailer because he is pulling Brian's trailer after he got Megatron. And Kid calling it. Things like, "What load?" You know. Good stuff. This is funny. Yeah, I imagine so. Now, I want to hear like the Justice League Unlimited like recording sessions. I don't want to hear some older cast is what they're doing behind the scenes. I'll hear Kevin Conroy that's like cursing like a sailor as Batman, you know. That'd be awesome. Or Wonder Woman dropping F-bombs, you know. It's better when they're all. Yeah, I like it when they have that. I love like the in studio voiceovers because a lot of times nowadays they're mostly because of technology. Obviously, they're able to do things more remotely, so it's more convenient. But it's like, you know, I kind of like. It seems like it's more fun. I'm not a voice actor by any means, but I imagine it's a lot more fun when you have a whole crew there. You know. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. She probably connect better on in the real world, you know, with actors because yeah, you never know, some of the lag, you know, over the radio and whatnot. So it might not be able to connect nearly as well with like the director and all that. So it really just does show actually um, in those voice recordings how important it is actually have a really good director with you, you know, um, kind of helping you, guiding you through, because it's kind of like it's kind of a team effort almost, like, because not just, you know, because, you know, obviously you have actors kind of come in and kind of be like, oh, let's do this to your character, do that, you know, it's kind of a work it as kind of a collaborative process, it really seems like. Yeah. Probably kind of the most fun acting actually to do, because you don't have to worry about looking the part, you don't have to worry about, you know, all that. You just come in to do the voices, and it's probably a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay, you need some blacks for the shadows, just kind of make them pop out a bit more. Looking a little dull here, so do that. We'll do that. All right, I'll do a bit more harsher shadows now with the actual bots. Just kind of make them pop out a bit more. Don't really have a light source in particular, so I'm just kind of winging it. Just going off of based on the what would be in shadow. My mind, anyways. The sides there. It's probably getting shadow there. Not gonna worry about the mountains because they'd be in the background, so you wouldn't really have any shadows casting on them. At least from this, at least not from the actual bots here. So it's kind of an issue I kind of have myself. Just a little. Yeah, not too much. Done. Thanks, dude. Yeah. And just tidy up things. Just black that up. Oh, shit. Sorry about it. Not gonna worry about it. Change this little shit there. Just tidy up some of the lines here. I think we'll call it a wrap on this one. We're pretty much done with this guy. Or these guys, anyways. The OGs of Transformers. So a little bit of extra detail there. Okay, 430 or 440 rather. So just time actually. Yeah, a lot of big things coming out lately in terms of collecting wise actually, because we got. Well, I think that we're gonna have actually a little bit of a speculation actually. Kind of talk about X Transmutes a bit more because I was watching the stream that over on his channel, Conquer Crusader, and he did a review / Q&A because he actually does work for Keith from X Transbots, and so he kind of has a little bit of inside scoop, not too much, but it's I can't based on it. But he actually kind of was taking questions, and one of the questions we were kind of asking is which combiner team would be next after Defensor, and basically said that the next ones would be Season 2 combiners because they want to finish up Season 2 combiners. So sadly, we won't be getting love from Season 3 combiners, which is kind of the ones that most people are kind of desperate for right now. You know. And hey, Penny, good to see you. Oslo, yeah. But yeah, so it seems like the next one likely is going to be either the aerial bots or Combaticons coming from X Transbots pretty after their Devastator and Defensor come out. So, which will be kind of good for people who missed out on the Zeta toys, Menace Superior, which I'm going to try and snag this year. Maybe in March. Just gotta save up a bit. Only problem with that is I have to I'm also saving up for Dead End, which I know is probably gonna be a little more expensive figure. So, but I should be able to make my money back after both that and the Slingshot figures because I'm gonna be selling off the combiner parts because I'm going for Superior anyways. I'm going for Zeta toys or X Transmuts, and then Fans toys for the bot modes. So that's kind of the plan there. That's my plan. Both, but I'm particularly partial to airbots, yeah. So we kind of have to wait a little bit until we can get some like Dominuses going, breaking. Luckily, Bing is coming out with their Technobots, so we'll actually at least have some representation of those characters coming out in the near future. You know what? I'm gonna look a little more dazzling here. We'll add some blue. Not put a blue pencil to their eyes, just to kind of give them a little more character here. Make them pop. Oh, yeah, your hubby's order wrong. Oh, that sucks. He just got his food. He still has and got his beer and stay in the open bar area. Oh, That's rough. Just love lousy service. Yeah. But I mean, both. I'm particularly partial to the airbots. Yeah. All right, I think we're pretty much done with this one. You know what? I can probably really quickly work on the Grimlock I have actually in my sketchbook. I could probably do that for a couple of minutes at least. So I'm just gonna find a pen to sign off on. And that one. There we go. There's the type of Sunstreaker or Canson Brothers of the Autobots. So pretty much done with that. Yes. Hold on. It goes away. And oh, there's actually a drawing here. Actually, I was working on last night. Actually, I was trying to do Scooby-Doo. I've talked about this before on some other channels, but I kind of thought about like what it would be like if they did like Scooby-Doo Transformers crossover. So I was doing a little sketch of like Starscream chasing down Ironhide while I was carrying. Well, I didn't draw them out yet because I was still kind of working them out. But I have like Scooby and Shaggy on his shoulder. He would actually be taking on the form of a mystery machine. So I've always kind of thought of this idea in my head, like for whatever reason, I was like, because like Scooby-Doo, they've had so many different crossovers over the years. Like, well, why did they do a Transformers one? It'd be kind of fun, yeah. Because like they have Frank Welker playing a different role, that sort of thing. And the whole story would be about him being chased down by Starscream's ghost or whatever, that kind of story. So I just thought it was kind of a fun idea. But that's just a little rough sketch. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it or whatnot. Oh, and there's the piece I was working on last night as well. The Unicron head with Cybertron in the background, as well as the little moons of Cybertron. A little bit of Unicron there. Not too sure if I'll be coloring this one up anytime in the future, but it's just a very, very simple sort of head sketch. But it was a lot of fun to do, actually. So there's a little Unicron there for you. Put the Grimlock now. It's almost done, actually. Just need to do a little bit of ink work on him, but there's my Grimlock. Our handsome Dinobot leader, who's going to be starring in the comic book I'm working on, the fan comic I'm working on, that official thing. If it was official, I'd probably get sued up the ass by Hasbro and all that. But that's going to be a little fan comic I'm kind of planning out in my head. Cool ideas for it. So, gotta know how to draw these characters though before I can be comfortable starting it though. As well as getting story written, because that's also very important. So your story is shit, you might as well not even try. Yeah. Look at my Grimlock boy actually real quick. You get the details for that part of the torso. All right. Need reference. Didn't really do a whole lot of ink work on the torso here. So, okay. Hold up. Right here. He's gonna walk. There he is. Rawr. Yeah, that toy. Oh, my grandma toy. My cool favorite. But into the symbol going. Yep. One side. Just fuck that up entirely. Make it fan fit. And maybe get noticed. Your story is good. It's better than it's better than. Yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah. I sent Grumpy some of the story outline. It's still kind of rough at the moment, but just working on a few things. I'm working on the storyline for the Predacons a bit more because it's still kind of an empty story at the moment. The way of where it's at right now. So. But all good ideas are there. Just kind of putting it all together. You know, that's where it kind of becomes tricky. Okay. All right. Just want to tidy this up real quick. Do some surgery on the sword there. It's going to have all just like flaming up. Oh, cool. Like it's going to look like it's a cool flame sword. That's the only thing I wish they did for the War for Cyber, or the Fall Cybertron games. They gave him a flame sword instead of just a standard sword. You know, I would have loved to just like made them more something like burn in that game. That's cool. But whatever. Excuse me. But other than that, it was fucking awesome. But the better than the whole game is playing is Grimlock, honestly speaking. Grimlock and like the Bruticus were like was so much fun to fucking play as. I could just play the whole game for hours just as Grimlock, you know. It's like stomping Decepticons, you know. It's fun. Good stuff. Good times. Other than exactly. Nature calls. So, part here. It's kind of a weird piece though. So it's kind of just okay. Let's see what it's like. All right. Let's do outline. I think I'll use like a really fine tip pencil or pen for this. Just add a little bit. So I want to kind of have it be it's where it's like kind of like a bit more in the back, you know, that sort of deal. That'd been fucking cool. That's one thing I really wanted to see was a full on. Actually, there was actually a fan who made a little short film where Bruticus and Grimlock fought on Earth and all that. Yeah, it's a really cool video. So, obviously, Grimlock won that fight. It's pretty cool too. Yeah, obviously, Grimlock can take a combiner. He's Grimlock. Yeah. I'll do this kind of a shape here. Yeah, yeah. Well, we are going to be. Well, you will be seeing him take on a combiner in the book I'm working on. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be the first introduction to parking. Actually, it's going to be kind of meant to be sort of their origin story. I'll have to rewatch, but I will have to rewatch the cartoon again. The first 5 episodes of season 3, just so I can make sure I keep in line with the lines cartoon when just in case there were some things I missed with the Predacons, because it tends to happen sometimes. I'll make sure you get them right. But I think that the order I have planned will hopefully it'll work out just fine. It's meant to be kind of it's meant to be a very, very plausible for where they came from, that sort of thing. So hopefully it works out. If not, I can always just change it up. Something different. But the basic idea is that they were basically this team of Decepticons back in the day on Cybertron that were kind of the story I'm kind of floating around right now is that they were cast off by Megatron like back in the war and all that, and they arrived on Earth. I will decide when they get sent to Earth or what time period. Well, it had to be way back in the day, right? Because the Autobots, Decepticons don't wake up until they land on Earth rather 50 million years ago before 1984. So yeah, they probably had to be before then, and so, but they would have to. But I'd have to where they awakened, like reawakened on Earth, like maybe in like the 60s or 70s, somewhere around that time, like like not too off, but I've actually been looking at the history, actually, the actual history of the dairy, because they're obviously they're in the storyline. For those who haven't been paying attention, the whole storyline is that they have the Predacons. They've taken refuge in the Darien Gap in South America, and so I'm doing a lot of research on what the Darien Gap was like during that time period, so that I can be well. You're not going to have a whole history lesson happening in there the whole time. I just want to be, I just want. It's important to kind of know like what the environment was like, what the world was like at that point in time in that particular area. I feel like you get the basics right, even though I don't get everything 100% right, because it is fiction at the end of the day. But you just want to kind of make sure that certain things. I think that certain things like actual real world history is kind of respected. You know what I mean? Unless you're doing a complete like retelling of like history. You know what I mean? Like you're doing like a what if this happened during World War II instead of this? Like that sort of thing. Yeah, but I did a lot of research. There's a lot of really interesting stuff that happened like in Darien Gap, though. A lot of history, actually, the more I kind of looked into it. Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a really fun story. At least I hope it will. Just a little bit thin there. I didn't really finish up my outline here. Didn't do the claw here. Just notice that. Going through war maps, circa. Yeah, yeah. It's cool. So big, Grimlock, in the way. We don't really need him anymore. Wait just a minute. Don't want to risk any ink on our big boy there. Drop your gun, Grimlock. You're disarmed. Yeah. Got hands, sure. It'll be fine. Rawr. Right. All right. Hulk of Transformers. Yeah, kind of. A little bit like the Hulk. But probably a little more nicer. Unless you're a Decepticon. Not so nice. Especially if it's like Marvel Comics, hardcore, Grimlock. I hope to do like more of that, actually, just like more of these like sort of fan comic ideas. I'd love to actually turn that Scooby-Doo Transformers crossover idea into actual comic, like little fan comic, obviously. Butterfly. You know, there's a lot of stories that need to be told sometimes. You know, sometimes you just gotta tell a story. Yeah. It's good practice too as an artist. You know, to kind of learn linear storytelling art and all that. And so it's a very important skill to kind of learn. You don't want to just jump into it and without knowing what you're doing, which is what a lot of which is what some people in the communities do, and they wonder why they aren't making success. But yeah. But you know, I can't be talking shit because I haven't made any success in it. Comic book because I haven't made any comic books yet. But you know, at least I'm not getting myself into something I don't know how to get out of. You know. All right. I'm gonna do my basic sort of cloud effect or smoke effect, whatever around him, and then I'll do. I'll get rid of some of the line work on the flames here from the sword. more black. There. Oh. eBay's reminding me to do something. Oh, it's a reminder about Superior I'm watching. It's funny. Just talking about you, Superior. Yeah, I might actually be buying him this March, along with Dead End, which I'll be saving up for starting this month. Actually, I started. So I can, because how much Slingshot has been kind of get a rough idea of how expensive Dead End is. Since I'm kind of just like saving up my points there, which is a really cool feature on Shozy Store, where you can actually buy the points if you're trying to save up for something. So I'm just like, okay, well, let's buy X amount of points, you know, and then over the course of a few weeks, just like dump a few bucks in, and for now you can have a figure bought and paid for, ready to go. But yeah, actually, I was so close to getting a hotspot or long haul, but I knew that in my heart, I was like, you know what, I need to get Slingshot. Yeah, I think that because he just would have, if he, because he's been sitting in the Shozy Store shop for months now, or ever since he was released, which was back in, I think, August. And so I was just like, you know, this guy might go out of stock any time now. And so I was just like, you know, I need to, especially with, because they actually are reissuing their Aerobots fan toys. So I got actually Silverbolt on pre-order, or deposit down on that rather. So because the Aerobots are getting really expensive on the aftermarket as well, for a pretty high dollar. So I want to nab them as soon as possible before they get even higher, you know. But actually, one thing I actually want to do actually when X Transbots their Petabots kind of come out is I actually want to do a combining video, like where, or a live stream rather, where I live stream the whole process of me putting together defense. I think that'd be really cool. So I have first day on the way, who's going to be probably going to be sitting in his ambulance mode for his whole life, probably, because I already have the MNC one for bot mode. So, actually, you know what? I'll do a little bit of gray tones on him. Real quick. And we'll do warm gray for the gold parts. I think it would be really cool, though, actually, to kind of put together Defense War live on air. It'd be a lot of fun. I think that in May is when Blades is coming out from X Transbot. And then Hotspot is supposed to be coming up before the end of the year. Not too sure about the combiner parts from though. It might be either at the end of the year or at the start of 2026 is when I'm guessing the combiner parts for Defensor comes out. So. Any more gold in me? Just the. Oh, you know what? I didn't do the claws on him. That. Oh well. I'll see it. Didn't do the arm claws on Grimlock on that arm. But yeah, well, whatever. Okay. Reds for this, just be the waist and part of the sword. It's cool, baby. Actually. Oh, and there's gold right here, so I'm just using more gray for that. But actually, on top of that whole idea of doing the combined thing, I'm actually thinking about doing like little short like live streams whenever a new figure comes out, like when I unbox them. I'm thinking about doing that as well at some point, or it kind of just depends on the circumstance when I get the figure though. If I'm like really tired, I probably won't stream. But if I'm like in a very very chilled environment, I'll just like, you know what? Because I'm the type of person I don't like to wait when it comes to a new figure coming out. I like to pop them open as soon as possible, you know. And so if I don't really feel like doing a stream, then I'll just kind of like pop it open, not worry about it. So, but yeah, if I ever get like for example, if Scrapper comes in this week and I have time to stream, I might actually just like, you know, do a live unboxing. I think that might be kind of fun. Just got kind of a shake up the channel a bit, just something new, different, you know. It's a little bit more fun, you know. Oop, I forgot my area. That'd be cool. Could take you those segments and combine them into your transport show. Oh, maybe. Well, the thing is like, I think I'd much rather do that whole like, because like obviously, because what so for the defensor, for or at least for first aid, the way they're kind of doing the arm bot mode is that he comes with a little like medical bay type thing. And a medical bay actually becomes like the arm, like it's kind of like a casing where you basically put the first aid. Like I think you like split them in half, kind of not split them in half, like break them in half, but yeah, but you kind of attach him to the med bay, and that kind of becomes the arm for defensor. But because they're releasing Defense Sword with the parts of Defense Sword separately from the hotspot, I'll just kind of do it all in like one stream for that one in particular. So I'll just kind of leave all the minor elements off to the side. Almost a year probably. It's like, so I won't be looking fun anyways. So until they're gonna release a hotspot before they do the actual combiner part and stuff like that. So, but I could do something for the segments maybe on. Well, actually, I could probably do more of a showcase of new figures that come out that I get in the mail. But the unboxing, it might just be like it might just be like a quick 30-minute stream, honestly. It won't be like a big, super long stream. It's just me kind of having my raw official thoughts on the figure, kind of like pull them out of the box the first time and all that. So just get my raw sort of opinion on it. And yeah, that's kind of like where I'm going with that. Release them, but oh well, no, okay. So the first aid, he actually does come with the med bay accessory. So I think it's going to be because I think that the accessory is going to be part of the base mode for, because the combiners, I think the way it's going to go down is that the combiner parts for Defense Sword, they're going to be they'll be able to transform into a base mode for the Protectobots, kind of like what we see from most of these combiner teams. And so I'm guessing the med bay thing is going to be part of that in some way. Yeah, so they're basically releasing, they're going to be releasing hotspot blades, and then they'll release the combiner part second thing. That's kind of how it's going to be released, from what Mike has told me. Which is actually kind of good for me personally, because I'll be buying 2 hotspots from them, because I want to have one for bot mode and one for combined form. So kind of nice for my end. I know a lot of people aren't really happy about that whole idea for a base mode. I think some people just want the combiner part, like it's like, who does display it in his base mode anyways? It's like, but it's just the way they're going. You kind of have to just like accept it, But it is kind of weird how they're doing it. But that kind of works for some people who just want to buy the individual bomb. They don't want to actually buy the whole combiner parts. At least it gives people an option, And helps some correct budgets kind of spread out their money a bit more, so you don't have to buy. So this dead end is going to cost like $140 probably. But it's like I'm not. But if you're just trying to buy like an individual bond, it would cost like half that. That's kind of where it kind of gets a little frustrating as a collector. But yeah, so for both Fence was Dead End and Slingshot, I'm going to be selling off the combiner parts, and just keep the individual bot. So someone might need the combiner parts, so maybe they break some or something like that. So. You can just buy the combiner part for half the price. That's a good deal. Yeah, I think we're almost done here actually with the Grimlock. Different shade of gray for the wings. Let's see the interior though. Things like auto release them, but wing could be between figure and part releases could be a nightmare. Yeah, But yeah, I'm okay with that, honestly, because there's going to be more stuff coming out anyways. That'll kind of keep me busy. So I think that they're going to be doing a lot of Constructicons this year as well. The rumor is that's going to be Hook coming out next from X-Transpots. So we shall see how that turns out. So I'm hearing a lot of good things about their Scrapper, and there's a lot of good things about their long haul I've heard as well. It's just been released a couple months ago. So, or last year rather. So yeah, seems like it's going to be a big year for combiners actually. We still have the Magic Square Combaticons going out. I'm guessing Onslaught's going to be the next one that comes out. Makes more sense to do that way because one thing I figure if you're going to do a combiner, the way it should be released in my mind is like you do legs first, the main bot, the torso bot, and then do the arms. I think that makes most sense because you're building up, you know. But yeah. And let's get rid of this line here. It's going to be all plain. Let's do this. Should cool gray for the sword. I'll do a little blue for the eyes. This one. Why not? Go, but you could take those segments, yeah. All right, I think we're almost done with Grimlock actually. So, I'm fun. So, details. I'm not sure the environment is here, but yeah, whatever you want it to be. It's just a basic sketch here. So yeah, let's do a little red on the symbol. On the symbol. And that'll be it. Rate it, get going. White, right? Yeah. So there's the Grimlock. He's pretty much done. I think it turned out okay. Just to be just a random basic sketch. So it's mostly me just like trying to test out doing this kind of angle for his head. And so it just turned out, and it just turned into a full-on piece. I was doing a bunch of like head sketches actually. I did this one on Maria's channel actually a couple of weeks ago. So we'll head sketch of Grimlock. But I also did these ones as well of Slag and Snarl. Because I was actually using the extra head they gave me with the Fitness toys. I was like kind of just using this reference because you can get. I actually really like using these as reference because you can actually get them from any angle you want. So those are two really useful kind of what I have. Yeah, this leg, a couple different angles here. One is looking down, straight on, from the side, from a little bit from the side, then from a full profile. The same thing here with him. So I have him looking down here, looking up. You know, really important to know how to draw them like different angles. You know, and I did one for Loft, so different angles. I was just kind of figured out how to draw his head because it's been a while since I drawn Grim lessons before here. So kind of fixing some things like kind of like realizing these parts here should be a little bit shorter. You know, just like the sides of that now, like, but which is what you kind of see him kind of correcting over here. There's like pencil lines here, kind of just kind of touching it up. But yeah, just trying to get ready for drawing these characters like for when I actually do the whole comic book. So, but yeah, wonderful. Actually, I personally thought this was actually sludge I was drawing because first sometimes I got their heads, they're very similar head designs, Snarl and Sludge. So I was like, oh, I'm just drawing Sludge, and then I realized it's Snarl. So I was like, oh shit. I put it on part two, so it's even more embarrassing to put a correction in there. So, but whatever. But yeah, there's Snarl. So Stegosaurus, and then Slide to Triceratops, and Grimlock the T-Rex. So yeah, so I'm gonna start drawing Swoop and Sludge a bit more though. Next, just gonna get used to them. Then obviously start drawing the Predacons more often. Probably use different character head sculpts for the reference, but like ones are like kind of similar, you know. Because I can imagine me using like a sound wave because I have a swap because I don't have any of the Predacons, but I do have some extra heads that are kind of similar to like something like Razor Claw, who's kind of like Razor Claw. His head's kind of like a mix between like Grimlock and like Soundwave. That's kind of like the best way to kind of describe him. So I'll probably just use Soundwave or Grimlock as like a reference to kind of like get the just to kind of get the angles right, and then kind of go in and kind of tidy it up, make it look like the actual character and all that. So, yeah, don't really know where to go from here, guys. So, actually, real quick, I had this on my mind for a bit. Because Tabitha actually kind of talked about wanting to learn how to draw Transformers from, because I think she had a friend who wanted a Transformers thing from her. And something that actually kind of helps me is if you and obviously Grumpy, you've been trying to draw Transformers. One of the things that actually kind of helps me a bit is when it comes to specifically doing the head sculpts. Because I think the body is usually a little bit easier than actually the actual head itself. So I mean, the body does get very, very tedious. We have a lot of like details and different shapes to it. But when you're drawing the actual face, the best way to kind of look at the Transformer's head is to look at it as three separate sections. Like, so for example, so for Slag here, we're going to kind of use an example. He kind of has. Get a better angle on the camera, but he has three different sections. You have the side, the middle, and then the right side. And the best way to break it down, anyway, is to start off by just covering up the sides, at least in your mind, kind of like always have without these sides here. And from an angle, if you look at the way the head's shaped and all that, we can kind of see that it's most likely going to be sort of like a rectangular, kind of start off as a rectangle, but kind of curve downwards. Like that's kind of how the shape of the middle head go, and then you can just kind of go ahead and add like some rectangle like cubes anyway, like on the sides here. That builds up the side of his head. So I'll kind of show off a little demo of that. If y'all want a little tutorial time. There's actually a Unicron head I was working on. But what I mean by that is this is gonna be a very, very rough one. But like you kind of start off with So you kind of start off with a shape here, kind of do it from the side. But that's going to be his face. Then this would be kind of his side. So it's kind of the shape you have to kind of go for from the side of his head. And then it's just a matter of kind of building out the shape of the sides of the head, you know, with like these here. And then just go ahead and just add little details. The visor, nose, mouth, chin guard. Yeah. Already have them kind of going already. But that's kind of like a really easy way to kind of like think things through with a drawing transformer, because usually not all the transformers, obviously, because there's different designs and all that, but usually they all kind of have that same sort of formula where they have the middle and then you have the sides of that kind of like as the part of their helmet almost. So it's better. So like when you're drawing a transformer, you want to kind of, I recommend kind of just starting off with like the middle section. Like think about like if you're drawing a Grimlock here, try to think of it as if these antennas here are not even present, and just draw out what you imagine would be in their place for the time being, and then kind of go over and add these parts in. Because this is usually the most important part, right? The character is the face, the main build, and obviously the rest of this can kind of be built up on top of it. So there's that whole back through Bristol. Yeah, because for me, actually, it's getting the face sculpt that usually is the most important thing with drawing transformers. And you kind of see actually in this one sketch for Grimlock, I was kind of, even though it's kind of a rough sketch right here, it was a very, very, like I was able to kind of like map things out very, very easily now that I had the angle figured out for this head. You know, kind of, it's going to be kind of, his head's kind of like angled downwards a bit more. So I'm able to kind of like build it up a bit more easily in my mind, anyways, how everything would kind of shape up. Yeah. So have the complicated heads. Most do, and I agree about getting the middle down first. Yeah, because like if you get the middle down first, then you can just like kind of build up the shapes of the sides afterwards. Because obviously, because these are very, very simple shapes, you know, like when you really break it down, like the sides. So you want to get the complicated stuff done first, and all that. So, and that's having actually having just like actual toys with you is actually really useful tool actually, because I can see the picture from any angle now. Like I can just be like, okay, I want this kind of headshot, this shot, this angle. You know, it just kind of broadens your perspective a bit more and gives you more to work with. You know, so yeah, there's a little tutorial there. I should have a few because I actually keep all the little accessories in this one bin right here. So I have a bunch of like heads I have actually. I'll pull them out. Board. But yeah. Oops. There's star screen. Okay, let's do this one. Oh, pull up. Pull up. Asshole. But this is what I mean. It's like actually for when I was talking about Razor Claw earlier, because you kind of see that his head design actually is very, very similar to like Soundwave. And so if I was to do, if I'm going to draw like, if I was going to do like a Razor Claw from a specific angle, I'd probably just use Soundwave's head here for reference. But actually, an example of how I kind of do like this kind of head design, because obviously it feels like there might be just like one. Because like this is where it kind of gets complicated when it comes to do, because you can't just do the whole 3 sections design or three section sort of idea when it comes to drawing like this, because you can kind of see that the head here doesn't always it's not really like on the side, you know what I mean? Like it's not really, like you don't really have like the head top of the head, because the top of the head kind of connects to the sides, you know what I mean? And so, but when it comes to doing stuff like this, the best way I kind of do is start by drawing one side first. Like just draw out this side first. If you're like doing this kind of angle, and then do the left side. That way you can kind of map, because usually you'll want to use like a ruler a lot of times for like doing like transformers, like especially for faces, because you want to make sure you get like the lines for like the bottom of the chin here, and then the top of the crest here and all that, like above the eyes and all that. You want to make sure you get all those kind of lined up accordingly. But yeah, so the third, it can kind of still work if you just like kind of just for the break, kind of breaking down the shapes, but you'll have to kind of like find a way to connect it to the middle side. That's kind of like with characters like this, a little bit character like this, like with Blaster here, and a little bit with Prime is also an example. One is kind of a bit more trickier, but he's a little bit easier to do because he's mostly going to be drawing this, as opposed to just the whole thing. Prime. Oh, there's start screen. He's laughing. Hello. So yeah, that's just me. And there's like Cyclonus, IDW Cyclonus head, but just a little insight of how to draw like a transformer head design is like start off with a basic sort of 3 sections, and then kind of figure out how to, if it's a complicated design like a Mirage, where it's like it can interconnect with the middle of the head sculpt. That's where it kind of gets a bit more complicated. But I think that if you start off with like the intention of it being just like a side, maybe like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain in my head right now, but that's kind of like the way I kind of try to work things out in mind. And I'm getting tired right now, so been going for almost 3 hours actually. So yeah, it was also keep even the Lego spare heads around for just that purpose, but I just haven't been able to make it happen. I ain't giving up though. I picked the pencil back up in 2020 was for keeps. Yeah, exactly. Never stop drawing, as Max says all the time. So, but actually, I got the sticker. Actually, I'll show it real quick. Actually, just put these back. Actually, got the Psylocke sticker from Mac in 90 off of his Etsy store. So, it's right in. Yeah. Don't follow me. I put her in with my Psylocke print I got a while ago. And don't worry, she's not actually sticks to it. I just kind of put her in there. Because I don't have anywhere to put my stickers. So that's why I haven't really bought much from Mackie. I was like, I don't really have a spot for stickers in my anywhere in my house or anything I own. But yeah, there she is. Beautiful artwork. So even equally beautiful artwork. So can't complain. That's actually ISAP Psylocke art right here. So in case you're wondering, I have a lot of her artwork actually. I have the Poison Ivy. I have a Rogue, Black Cat, and the Psylocke. So very good stuff. Yeah, I think he fits back in there. There we go. All right. Gotta wait. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind like drawing like a transformed head, is like kind of start off with the middle and then kind of work on the sides and kind of connect it the way it kind of connected in the source material and whatnot and all that. But no bad job, thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm not an art teacher. I don't know how to explain things in any sensible or that's the word I'm looking for. intelligent way. It makes sense, but yeah, ended on. This is my favorite one I did this week. I'll do this one on this guy. I actually really had a lot of fun doing this Unicron piece. So yeah, so I made a binder. That sock piece is incredible. Who did that? Oh, the Silent. That's from ISAP. I'll put the name for in chat and see how to spell it. I got off of her ArtStation actually. She does a lot of really cool like female, real sexy female characters and stuff like that. So yeah, I think you'll like her. Do you know? I'll see if I can pull up a link to her store. ArtStation. Oh yes, there it is. If you're interested in buying it, or just browsing, because she has a really good portfolio. Really cool stuff that you got going on there. Drop that in the chat. And I think I'm ready to call it a wrap from there. Not really much to go on. Almost 3 hours, so I'm tired. Gotta go get some stuff done. So, but on that note, I will be seeing you guys later. Let's see. Before we end it off, gotta say thank you to Grumpy, Penny, and Dadman for showing up. It was a lot of fun doing the main piece with Sideswipe Sunstreaker we did. We just kind of scooted around afterwards, but yeah, there's our boys, all done. So I can finally transfer them to a bundling card one day, and hopefully color them up and make them look all pretty and all that good stuff. So, but on that note, I think I'll call it a wrap. Let's see if I can find. Okay. I always forget to update my goddamn clips, so. I need a big drunk Decepticon. That's what I need to bring out the most. I don't have it here for some reason. So, yeah, I'll give myself this. But
amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
I really want to hear. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I really want to hear this episode, the booby trap episodes, like that one. I want to hear the behind the scenes on that one. I want to see how many times Pierre Collin had to say boobies behind it when he did that line. But yeah, so we'll do the bitches, just a shockwave clip, and then we'll kind of end this off. So on that note, guys, I will not be seeing you this weekend actually, because next weekend, because I'll be working out of town, and I won't be back until Sunday. Afternoon most likely, so unless we leave early, but I'm not too sure about that just yet. But actually, no, you may see me a little bit during the week if like Scrapper and Slingshot come in. I might do a stream of that. But yeah, so that's about it. So scenes and stuff. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool actually to take the Megatron clip where he's like, "It's Scrapper, you asshole." I actually might be really funny in the rat shit. That's fucking love the. That's such a really good idea. I might actually do that. Oh, her birthday's 28th. That's nice. Yeah. Let's go. But yeah, so I'm not too sure what I'll be streaming next. If I do get like Scrapper or Slingshot in the mail, or Streetwise, because I still have that on the way as well, then I'll probably do a surprise stream on YouTube. But it'll be like a very short stream, like 30, 40 minutes or something like that. Just gonna be me just taking the character out of the box, kind of showing off and all that, and call it a wrap. That's kind of how I'm gonna probably do these unboxing sort of streams and all that, and then maybe for the future, I think that what the format will actually be kind of is that I do unboxing in a live stream, and then when I do the March sort of like the end of the month, like live stream starting off in March, where I do my Transformers show. I think I'll just do like a little segment at the very end, maybe, where I show off the figure, or at the very beginning, who knows, or do a little bit of a showcase of the figures that I've collected in that month. Because it's gonna be a monthly stream, so it's gonna be kind of like me just kind of collecting news from that month that's coming out, like maybe new figures, maybe new images of characters and all that and stuff like that. So that's kind of what the show is mostly going to be about. Just covering some of the news, some of just kind of just like talking about third-party collecting in general, like Transformers collecting. Just because a lot of like things that kind of go into collecting. Like there's a lot of intricacies. There's a lot of different ways people collect. Some people are more completionists. Some people are a bit more casual with collecting. There's a lot of different people who are different types of collectors out there. So it might be an interesting sort of a stream to kind of talk about those differences and all that. Maybe even if I can do it, maybe I can bring people on and talk about their collections one day. Maybe I don't know if I can do that because I don't know if I can withstand having multiple people on the stream. It's a piece of shit, but it would be interesting to have like a conversation though, about it. But on that note, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap right here. I'm beat. My throat needs to rest because I have to go. I'm actually going to be seeing my nieces tomorrow, so possibly tomorrow, anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna need my voice for that because it can be a bit of a You'll get there. Yeah, I'll try. My goal is to eventually get like a PC laptop or like a gaming laptop just for like live streaming. That way I could probably do some like online gameplay streams like on the Xbox, so I can do streams on YouTube instead of Twitch, because Twitch is really hard. It's really hard to find an audience on Twitch. Like it's kind of it did really like unless you like go out of your way to promote yourself on Twitter, it's not really a good platform for growing audience. But I think it'd be more. And also, I think it'd be more fun on YouTube because I have more minutes here, anyways. Like I have more subscribers here, which I probably could build up on Twitch. But Twitch is kind of like, yeah, like a lot of people are kind of not really liking Twitch as much anymore. So I don't, myself included, to be honest. So, but on that note, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap here. So, because got some of my voice for nieces because they're a rowdy bunch. So, on that note, I will call it a wrap here. So, and Grumpy, I got to actually one more thing. I got to show you this Grumpy. I'm not too sure if you've seen it before or yet. But the Rambling Smooth guy actually put out a new video of their Transformers fan film. Their work is really fucking cool. Because the way they're doing their film is that they're it's kind of like a series, but kind of like the way they're doing it is that they release the film as it is, like completed at the moment. Like they kind of start off with like if they only have like 15 minutes of the film being worked on, they'll just release that, and then like a couple months later they'll release the next big sort of a scene as a part of it. Like it'll be kind of like it'll be like connected and stuff like that. It's kind of how they're kind of doing business with their film. You'll kind of understand what I mean if you watch it, but just gotta pull it up real quick. Smooth. They add a new part to it, basically. Shit. This guy. It's really fucking cool. They actually go into the backstory of Prime and Megatron. It's very G1. It's really cool. It was the one where it had Jetfire like saving that human and all that from the fighter jets. Like, yeah, I'll pull it real quick. Yeah. Here, this is the video. So basically, the way it's kind of structured is that they'll do. So the first part they did was the whole Jetfire versus the Starscream scene. And then the next part was the Autobots fighting Devastator, and then this part is kind of the backstory stuff, for the most part. But yeah, a lot of fun. It's a lot cool. It's like watching the cartoon all over again. Really, really good stuff there. So if you're too busy tonight, I'd recommend definitely watching that. More parts coming from it, according to the creator. So it's really, really cool. Yeah. Really sharp. So I'm really excited for more of that guy to make more content of that. So on that note, I think I'll call it a wrap right here. I'm beat. So yeah, I don't know how people can do 5-hour scenes. I'm just like, my throat would die for the first hour. So yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. Like they do a lot of the backstory for Orion Pax and well, you'll kind of see there's a lot of like stuff there. It's very, very G1 inspired, also being unique and different on its own. So yeah, that too. But for me, it's very really dry where I live, and my throat gets dry really easily. And so I'd probably have to take like if I was gonna do a 12-hour stream, I'd have to take like breaks, like in between, you know. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could probably do that, but if it's just a talking stream, like that's probably where it would beat my ass. Like if I was just doing draw streams, like I could probably just like kind of, because draw streams there's a lot more slower moments. There's a lot more quiet moments when you're just kind of like sitting there in the zone. So there's not a whole lot of talking, but yeah. And it definitely would help to have like co-hosts and stuff like that to kind of fill in dead air and all that. So like if you do it by yourself, you're probably gonna be fucked over the next day. So, but on that note, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap right here. So thank you guys for watching, and I might see you during the week, might not, who knows. Depends on how long it takes for my packages to arrive and all that, and whether or not I actually want to stream in the evening. If I'm a bit salty from work or something like that, I might not be streaming, but but we'll see. I might power through it. We'll see. So on that note, I will see you guys later. Take care, everybody.
You will not escape the mighty shockwave!
Hey, mighty shockwave! Take this!
Shit! You bitches! Get back here!
Bye-bye! Loser! You suck!
Those bitches!
The Transformers will return after these messages.